Hi everyone and welcome back to Perima's kitchen. I am Solina, my daughter is Shivaya, and today we're making a simple brinjal dal. Your dal doesn't always have to have brinjal, but we are adding it today. I am making a thicker dal and I'll also give you a few tips on what I usually do. I'm using about 1.5 cups of pea dal, but what I usually do is I take the entire packet, I clean it, I wash it, and I boil everything. And that's because dal does take a long time to boil. I let it boil and then I portion it and put it in the freezer, so when I do want to cook, it's readily available. You can add a few cloves of garlic or just add the turmeric like I'm doing now. You can leave your salt for later and just let it boil. That portioning of it and keeping it in the freezer really does save a lot of time. Let's move on to braising the brinjal. Once your oil is hot, add a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Next, add a 1/4 teaspoon of Jeera seeds so it fries in the oil as well. I got distracted and added it later. And once it starts popping, you can then add your sliced onions as well as your dried red chillies. We want everything to fry up in the oil. I'm using about 2 dried chilies which I broke up. Next, I'm adding some fresh curry leaves, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon of Jeera seeds, just a pinch today. I should have used it earlier when I was frying the mustard seeds, but again I got distracted. Sometimes you just have to improvise, especially if you have kids. We'll give it a few seconds to all fry up in the oil. You can even add a few cloves of garlic to the oil. And then I'm adding 1 teaspoon of chili powder. You can always turn down your heat if you feel uncomfortable with your chili powder and you don't want it to burn. And then next, add your tomatoes, your diced tomatoes. I'm using 1 today. Mix it and then we'll want it to simmer and let that tomatoes break down. So after a few minutes, the tomatoes have broken down slightly. I'm going to get ready to add my brinjal, but before I do, I will add a dash of boiling water. This will just help with the gravy. All of this beautiful gravy is going to be added to the dal, which will enhance the flavor of your brinjal dal. I'm happy with this consistency and I will add my brinjal. I'm using baby brinjal. And all I've done is I've just cut it down the length twice. Just like this, and this will just help it to cook evenly. Mix your brinjal into the gravy, and next I'm going to add some garlic, some cloves of garlic. You can add a few cloves to your dal while it's boiling as well. Another method is frying your garlic with your onions in the beginning. It also gives it a lovely flavor. And then we'll let it simmer on a low heat. Once it's slightly reduced, you can then add your rough salt to taste and let it cook further. For about 5 to 10 minutes, that would be sufficient time. It should be ready. You can check your brinjal and check a clove of garlic. Mix it and then set it aside. Once your dal is ready, you can add everything to your dal. Your pea dal, as I mentioned before, will take some time to cook. You may have to keep topping it up with some boiling water. I'm adding some rough salt now. And we'll keep checking on it. It will start to dissolve into the water. I'm not going to make it completely smooth today. I want it slightly thicker. I've added a clove of garlic into the dal while it's boiling. And even when I prepare in advance, I add 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. After a while, your dal is ready. I'm now adding my brinjal to the dal. I'm just scooping all of the chutney into the dal. There will be some residue left in your other pot. Take a spoonful of the dal, mix it up in that pot to get the rest of that residue out and add it to your dal. We don't want to waste any of that flavor. We want to add everything into the dal. You'll see the color of the dal will also start to change to a slightly darker color as opposed to a very yellow color. And you'll also see the thickness as well will be a bit different. Once you've mixed everything into the dal, you can let it simmer for a few more minutes and then simply turn off your stove and garnish with some fresh coriander. And that's a very simple brinjal dal. A lot of us reminisce about growing up, and this always comes to mind, having dal and rice. I can even have a cup of dal. I'm very happy with that. It goes well with your biryanis or as a side with any other vegetarian curries. It's a simple, delicious, satisfying meal. Please subscribe. Kindly hit the notification bell so you are notified when a new video is uploaded. Please like and share, and your comments are always very, very welcome. See you again soon in Perima's kitchen. Have a lovely day. As usual, all the ingredients are found in the drop-down description below.